Hi, my name is Pat, and this is my channel, Book Chat with Pat, and I'm glad that you're here. Today I'm going to be doing a tag. This is the Counting the Days tag. It's an original tag that was created by To Readers It May Concern and Prose and Petticoats. I was tagged by Ruben at To Readers It May Concern. The purpose of this tag is to pick books that you are excited about reading, books that you are looking forward to reading in the future. So the first prompt is, what is a book that excites you because of its cover? So I had a couple things for that. Right now, I'm participating in Jane Austen July, and the group read is Sense and Sensibility. And I had a very old copy of that, so I just treated myself to a new copy, and I do think that this is a very lovely cover. And also, I have some science fiction anthologies that I'm just dabbling in right now. I am one of the co-hosts for Rocket Summer, and I have a couple of really beautiful anthologies. Science fiction, especially classic science fiction books, they always have magnificent covers. And I recently acquired a two-volume set that was published relatively recently by Library of America, and this is on classic science fiction written by women. And I have shown these in one of my Rocket Summer videos, I believe, but they certainly pertain to this prompt as well. Both are called The Future is Female. The first volume is 25 classic science fiction stories by women and pulp pioneers to Ursula K. Le Guin, from pulp pioneers to Ursula K. Le Guin. And then the second volume in the series, volume 2, is female science fiction writers just writing from the 1970s. Also wonderful, wonderful cover. So those are three books whose covers excite me and make me look forward to reading. Number 2, what is a book that excites you because of its author? I got Amor Towles' newest book, which is a collection of short fiction, Table for Two. This came to me the day of publication last month, and I haven't read it yet. But I've read everything that he has written: Rules of Civility, The Lincoln Highway, A Gentleman in Moscow, and I really love this author. So when I heard that this collection was coming out, I pre-ordered it, and I am definitely looking forward to reading that one as well. And another one that I also pre-ordered because of who the author was, and this just came last week, publication day was just last week. This is Liz Moore's new novel, The God of the Woods. I'm looking forward to reading this as well. I have loved several of her earlier novels, and it seems that each novel she writes is totally new and fresh and different, and she takes on different subject matter. I especially adored her novel Long Bright River. Number 3, what is a book that excites you because of its premise? That would be Abraham Verghese's The Covenant of Water. And the premise here is that it's a family saga, and it goes through several generations of a family, all of which seem to be plagued by this affliction where at least one member of the family in each generation succumbs to drowning. I had read the author's earlier Cutting for Stone, and I loved that. So I have been looking forward to reading this, and this was a gift. And it's just a really, really long book. It's over 700 pages long, and I'm hoping that this will also be one of my big books of the summer. Okay. Number 4. What is a book that excites you because of its style? I don't know if this excites me or not, but it is a book that I have long been curious about. It's not just a book, it's a 6-volume book. And I'm toying with the idea of joining the read-along that's going to begin, I believe, in January of 2025 of Marcel Proust's 6-volume In Search of Lost Time. This is volume 1, Swan's Way. This multi-volume series is generally considered an example of modernist fiction. It has had profound influence on writers throughout the 20th and 21st century. It is, considered the definitive modern novel, and I haven't read it. I definitely tried Swan's Way at some point a long time ago and just abandoned it. But now that we have this I guess year-long project going on or about to begin in the new year, this might be the time. If I sound like I'm not being super committed, that's probably true. I do think this is something that I probably want to at least dabble in. And maybe this is the right time. I guess we'll see. But certainly the style of this book and its influence, the style has influenced many other writers throughout the 20th and 21st century. Okay. A book that excites you because of its influence. Well, Proust certainly fits that category too. Many writers talk about that, how they were influenced by this multi-volume novel. So, that certainly is, it's considered one of the most influential novels of the 20th century. Another novel that I'm just starting that is exciting me is something that I'm reading again for Rocket Summer. Right now, for the month of July, we're reading classic science fiction. And I have this week we're reading works from the 1940s. And I have decided to read George R. Stewart's Earth Abides. And I know that this novel has influenced many other writers, and it certainly has influenced many in the science fiction and fantasy fields. Stephen King talks about this being a profound influence on his writing of The Stand. Jimi Hendrix even claimed that this was a profound influence on some music that he wrote. So I think certainly in the field of science fiction, fantasy, post-apocalyptic literature, this book has had a profound influence, and I'm really looking forward to getting into it this week for Rocket Summer. Okay, number 6. What is a book that excites you because of its emotional weight? Um, that would be Beth Macy's nonfiction work, Raising Lazarus. And the subtitle is Hope, Justice, and the Future of America's Overdose Crisis. I had read her book Dope Sick when it first came out, which was kind of a description of the current opioid epidemic. This is a follow-up to that, and she's talking here about the people working on the front lines, going to the addicted people where they are in order to offer treatment. In concept, this reminds me of the Tracy Kidder book that I read back in February, I think, or March, Rough Sleepers. That was one that I had read for the actually, it must have been February, for the octafinals of the BookTube Prize, about a doctor treating the homeless and going, where they are to offer treatment. And I was so profoundly moved by that book, and then also by Macy's Dope Sick, that I thought that, this one, which is really about people working in treatment and going where the addicted people are, just pulled on every heartstring I have, and I know that reading it is going to be an emotional experience. Okay, number 7. Sorry, so we go from one extreme to the other. A book that excites you because of its sense of humor. I am looking forward to reading P.G. Wodehouse's The Code of the Woosters. This is an old book. This was written in 1938, and I think it's the third or fourth in the Bertie and Jeeves series, and I've read some of the earlier books, and they're just delightfully funny. And I know that this one is going to be as well. He writes with these preposterous plots, but his verbal play is also just masterful. And I know that's going to be a light read, one that I'm really looking forward to. Okay, and the last prompt is a book that excites you because of its challenge or difficulty. That is a book that I recently acquired. This is Dostoevsky's the new translation of The Brothers Karamazov. And this was translated by Michael R. Katz, who is actually a professor emeritus at my alma mater. So I'm really looking forward to reading this one. I haven't read all of Dostoevsky, but I've read quite a few of his novels. I think this is his last novel. I think he finished this shortly before he died. I have read Notes from Underground. I've read The Idiot. I've read Crime and Punishment, but I never read The Brothers Karamazov. So I am excited to read that one. Okay, and then finally, tag some people. So I'm going to tag a bunch of people to see if we can get this tag going. So I'm tagging genre books, another bibliophile reads, Aaron Facer, Beyond Books, Quaint and Curious volumes. Brindis, Daughter of Gunnar. Read Becca. Reading Ideas. Read and Reread. Libro Paradiso. Rayner Reads Stuff. Middle of the Book March. Joshua Crebo Reads. My Messy Bookshelf. Stuart Griffin. Big Hard Books and Classics. And Ellen Made Book Club. And anybody else who's watching this, if this appeals to you, I would like you to consider yourself tagged as well. And please, let's keep this tag moving along. As always, I thank you for watching. I hope that you're doing well. I'll speak with you again soon. Take care.